What's up, everyone? We hope you're doing well out there. Thanks for tuning in to Trash Panda Garage. If you've caught any of our recent episodes, you're aware that we recently made the trip out to Montana to pick up a GFC canopy camper for our 2022 Chevy Colorado. So before we even took delivery of the Go Fast camper, I'd done some research and had several things in mind as far as modifications and upgrades that I wanted to make to the GFC. And then, of course, after using the GFC for a couple of nights, there were a few things that climbed up the priority list as far as modifications. So in no particular order, here are the first 5 modifications that we made to our GFC platform camper. Now, admittedly, this first one might not even be considered a true modification by most people, but within the GFC owner's manual, they do state that within the first 500 miles, you should double check the torque on the mounting bolt that attaches to the billet mounting clamps on your canopy camper. We checked all 4 of our mounting bolts after the return trip home from Montana and discovered that one of the 4 had loosened up just a tiny bit, maybe a few inch-pounds. But what we did is we marked each of the 4 mounting bolts with a paint pen to make a witness mark, which should ease maintenance in the future because you do want to check these at about the same interval as your oil change. On to mod number 2, and we actually ordered this particular accessory before we even picked up the GFC. This is the Underland Offroad Molle Panel. This Molle panel is made from laser cut aluminum. It's nice and lightweight, it's powder coated, and it easily mounts to the front wall using GFC's factory 1/4-inch well nuts. One thing I really like about the Underland panel is that in addition to its hex grid style Molle pattern, it includes some mounting slots that fit 1/4-inch bolts. We've already used a couple of those mounting slots to mount our Agency 6 shovel mount. The next mod up on our list, and another accessory that we ordered before we actually picked up the GFC, is the Use More Force lock locker. As you probably know, the latches on the GFC can be secured with your garden variety hardware store Reese brand hitch coupler padlock. The Use More Force lock locker is a clever little 3D printed mount that gives you a place to stow your Reese padlock when the tent is open and the lock's not in use so that you don't misplace the lock. This next mod is actually a GFC accessory. It's their tent pull-down kit. It's basically a machined aluminum QD socket that attaches to the extrusion at the top of the tent and includes this pull-down leash, which doubles as a dog leash, which is pretty clever. This one really wasn't on my radar until I tried to close the tent after it had been sitting in the sun for a couple hours in 90-degree weather, and I just about burnt my fingerprints off. Turns out that aluminum conducts heat real well. Who knew? Either way, I consider this mod a valuable upgrade that's going to save my fingers at some point in the future. Mod number 5 is yet another accessory sold by GFC. This is their machined aluminum 90-degree antenna bracket. I believe this bracket comes from GFC with a 3/8 inch mounting hole. I drilled mine out to a 1/2 inch to accept this Dixie 4-wheel drive flag quick disconnect mount. Dixie 4-wheel drive also sells this folding flag, which we store under the rear seat of the Colorado, and it will come in real handy if we're out on the dunes or other OHV areas that require a flag. That's all we've got time for today, but before we go, if you're a GFC owner, please tell me in the comments below what your first 5 modifications were. Maybe there's something I should be considering that I haven't looked at yet. We've got more GFC content coming soon to include the installation of some GFC V2 Pro upgrades that I have on order. Thanks for watching Trash Panda Garage. Until the next time, get out there, build something.